my garage gym today, working on phase 2 of my muscle up journey. Because I'm in my garage gym, you might hear some background noises. I got the garage door open. Cars might be coming by, people might be moving around, but ultimately, like what I want to show you all today is more of my muscle up journey. As I talked about in the first video with my muscle ups, I want to be taking you through my journey of getting into a strict muscle up with the rings and the bar, which I got a bar here, it's not in frame. I might show you all my setup here in a little bit. But kind of go through my journey of progressing into these muscle ups. I had mentioned in the first video, I've done muscle ups in the past. However, they were a bit of a swinging muscle up. Not really a kit, but that little bit of a swing. And at the time, I just didn't feel like I had the shoulder awareness to be doing those repetitively, and it didn't really feel good. So I just decided to get back into the fundamentals and really build on through. And I really like this idea of that strict muscle up where it's just smooth and steady and you're really controlled. So that's what I'm working on right now. And who knows, maybe I kind of feel like I'm gonna get the ring muscle up first, but maybe I'll get the bar first, or maybe I'll get them at the same time. I don't know, but I am training them kind of parallel because there are some good crossovers that tend to show up. I've noticed just watching people progress, they tend to get the ring first and then do the bar. But everybody's different, So we'll see what flows best for me, what feels best, and always do what's best for you. But today I'm in phase 2, working on phase 2, which is the pull through. As I mentioned before, a lot of people focus on 3 different phases of the muscle up. You got the pull up or the pull, you got the pull through, and you got the dips at the top, right? And so I personally feel like there's several other steps to focus on within the muscle up. But when you're looking at a very high level, it's really great to just have the 3 different segments to work through. And then as you're moving through those, you'll kind of find the areas that you really want to shore up. The areas that probably you want to give a little more attention to. Whereas like if you're just trying to do full range of motion and exercise the whole time, just jumping right into muscle ups and you're swinging through them, you might miss some of those areas that it would really benefit to make sure they're strong and stable and mobile and ready to go, which is kind of what I was experiencing when I first was doing muscle ups. There was just some areas in the chains that didn't feel like they were stable enough to do those consistently. So, if you want to check out phase 1, which is the pull and getting more used to the high pull and being able to just progress through that safely, that's an awesome video. I will link it to this video at some point. And then this one, I'm going to be focusing more on the pull through. So I showed you in the first video also how to get that fast grip on the rings. If you want to check that out, it's really cool. And then today we'll just jump right into it. So ultimately I'm starting with really a regression or modifications and just kind of playing with these really nice and flowy and just having fun with it and just feeling where my body might want me to shore up some areas and give a little more training time to specifically. So, and some of you might want to regress more than this, some of you might want to progress more. Wherever you're at, do your own thing for sure. But I'm just coming in with both feet flat on the ground. I'm actually going to start on my tiptoes. I've got the rings a little bit lower than my chest, or kind of like right at my chest. You kind of play with that, what feels good to you. But you'll know when you get up top. I'm on my tiptoes, I'm coming down in that extension, almost fully extended, not all the way because I'm so close to the ground. But as I pull, I'm pulling the rings into my chest, right? And I'm here in this like kind of high pull position, probably pull a little bit higher, honestly. And then you want to slide through and pull yourself on through and get into that dip position. Now right here, you're in that shoulder to bar gymnastic dip position, which a lot of people don't really train. A lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. Like me, I usually start my dips and come about this low to the bar, maybe even a little bit higher. So I don't usually train all the way down to the bar, which that's a whole lot of difference when you're getting into that range of motion. And so, immediately I can feel when I'm at the top of this move, I'm in this pull through, I can feel that I don't quite have the stability or the range of motion yet to push out of this as strong as I would want to feel safe, right? And I've got both feet on the ground. The reason I'm on my tiptoes is because it does give a little bit of instability, like kind of challenges my balance. So I have to control some, but it's not like all the pressure's on my elbows or my shoulders right now, right? So I'm just gonna, you can do a couple of these and kind of feel where you might not be feeling it as much as you might be in other areas, and where some areas just really need attention. So again, if I'm gonna break this down a little bit more, when I come into this high pull position, I can already feel that I don't feel super stable even right here. Again, in the elbows. The elbows seem to be taking a lot of the pressure. And then when I pull into this pull through and get ready for my, my dip push, I also feel a little bit of that pressure in the elbows. And again, this isn't really a bad pressure. And there's a big difference between pain like, ow, don't do this pain, and oh, that area is not quite ready to progress, so you need to give it a little more attention. And so you'll get more used to this, and that's why I recommend starting out kind of moderate with stuff and just let your body tell you what you need. Don't just try to bang out that full range of motion because you see people doing it, looks so cool, and then maybe you squeeze out one, but it's sloppy, and next thing you know, you're like, that doesn't always work. Sometimes it does. I'm not saying don't do it, but I am saying like be very aware of just trying to push through something without knowing that you have that full awareness and stability. So anyways, I'll talk a little bit of how to build some of that up here in just a second. But another, kind of progression within the same modification of like both feet on the ground, right? And I'm just popping up on my toes. You could also, bring like the right leg up and do it with, you've got just like your left foot on the ground on your toes. And so that's a whole different level of stability you're creating there. And I can even tell it's challenging me in a way that I'm not getting quite the result as when I have both feet on the ground, which means I'm probably somewhere in between both feet on the ground and having one foot down on the ground. But that's such a small difference that I'll move through that quick. So anyways, when I find myself, say like the top of this move and I'm getting ready to go into my dip, I like to bring in the isometrics. That's a big one for me. So I just kind of hold it here. And again, like I have both feet on the ground, I might take one foot up and just go. So I add a little bit more pressure now in a really safe position and just start to push my hands into the rings as if I'm gonna push up and do a dip, get to the top of the dip, but I'm not gonna leave the ground. I'm just gonna stay here and I'm gonna hold this for like anywhere from 10 seconds to, you can do a whole minute if you wanted to. You can vary the pressure. You can go from like 10% pressure and just kind of stay there to like incremental up to 20, 30, 40, where you're just squeezing and you're up to almost 100, 80 to 100%, and you're fully activated. And what that's gonna do is start letting all the tendons and ligaments and joints just acclimate to being in that position. Because what we call this is like end range training. And it's not so much the isometric. Isometrics holds are something you can do in end range training. It's probably, in my opinion, one of the most effective things. But essentially when you're in range, it's like there's typically two ranges in the motion. You have here, which you're in, this is the end range at the bottom of the dip. And you have here when you're at the top. So that's the other end, right? So you have the bottom and then you have the top. Those are both the end ranges of the move. And most people are training dips, like kind of right through here, like I said, like I mentioned before. But if you really get into it and get that shoulder all the way to the bar or the ring, it's a whole different level you're pushing through, right? So this is one way I'm just gonna spend some time when I notice that I'm not really feeling that move or feeling that stability to come out of that move. I'm just gonna work in an end range training. And then I'm also gonna work on kind of being here and then coming back through like almost through the negative, like a eccentric negative. Sorry, I had a car drive by. Almost doing the eccentric negative. So the eccentric is a nice slow controlled movement out of what I was just doing. And because I'm coming out of the muscle up, it's called a negative. So you're going kind of like backwards. Like a positive eccentric would be like forward into the move, nice and slow, right? So I'm coming here and just kind of moving and letting my mind and body connect and really get into that. And right now I just have the one foot on the ground, other one in the air. And I'm just taking it nice and slow and controlled. So like right here I can tell I already have trouble pulling, don't have that strength like I want to in that range. So again, moving through these nice and slow and controlled lets me find where I'm not really as like strong and stable as I want to be to just whip through this motion, like, and if you are moving through it fast, you're probably not going to experience as much like resistance to being able to do those quickly as I am right now doing it slow. But that's why I recommend introducing these things where you can kind of experience them in a slow motion fashion, because then you can find out where your points are you need to strengthen. So like again, at this high pull here, say I'm coming off the ground and I get to here, say I feel like kind of unstable there, or like I've pulled through it and it's not really going as quickly as I would like or as strong as I'd like, I might just kind of hang out here and do another isometric hold and activate everything, my core of my back, just squeeze the whole body and squeeze into these rings and pull towards the ground as if I'm gonna do a full pull-up or something, and just feel everything. I'll hold it for 10, 20 seconds, maybe a minute, you know, and you can start to kind of create your own rhythm with these. But just doing this moderately from time to time really makes a huge difference in letting everything in the body, the tendons, the ligaments, the joints, the muscles, all that stuff start to acclimate to these in ranges and these more dynamic moves. So that's like, again, isometrics I like to use for my in ranges and those kind of sticky spots where I feel like I don't have the strength and stability yet. Eccentrics I like to use to kind of train the mind-body connection in a nice, safe way with very moderate pressure on those positions. So like right now, you know, I have both feet on the ground. I'm in full control. I'm just going back and forth between my heels and my toes. Toes right here, heels as I come back. And it's just like, I can feel the pressure in my elbows in a very good, safe way. So I highly recommend, you know, starting out in these like smooth motions, not worrying about if you can get it up high or not. And before you know it, you'll be there. You know, before you know it, just be flying through it. I'll probably work on this progression pattern and like kind of play with it for 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes these things might take a few months. Sometimes it might take a week. You know, everyone's body is different. Every skill I work on is different for me. So, you know, don't ever put limits. It's always be open to it happening quickly, but don't rush it. If it ends up taking 2 or 3 months, that's okay. You know, it's all just fun. And kind of like one more thing I'll say about, you know, allowing it to be okay to take a few months. This feels like a workout to me today. You know, a lot of people get into skill work and they feel like they're not doing enough to like get that workout going or get that feeling like they sweated hard enough to like feel like they're putting in the work. But you know, doing 20 or 30 of these at a really moderate pace and then taking your time and doing the eccentrics and doing the isometric holds, you start to feel that heat come on. And you start to get that perspiration going and get all the, just your breathing up. It's great. So this could be a form of a workout. It could be enough for a whole day and you're fine. Especially, you know, you're using the body to push up some. And at the end of the day, you don't have to be doing jump squats and burpees and, you know, planks and push-ups and all that in one session just to get a workout. You can focus on this and then do something else tomorrow while you're resting the arms. You know, or maybe do some pull-ups if you feel like good in the elbows, and then go do some push-ups and do some jump squats, whatever. You can mix it up, just have fun. For me, like right now, I'm working a little bit on this muscle-up training, and then I'm also doing some mountain biking. So my leg days, I'm just going and hitting the trails, doing a lot of climbing, and it all balances out, you know? It's not about having to always just stick to a certain regimen, but routines are great too, whatever feels good. So to end this video, I'll say there's a couple progressions that you can do with this move that can help you as well. So like one thing you can do is start to put your feet up, like get one of those big blocks or a chair or something really stable, and you can raise the bar a little bit. Sorry. Raise your bar, raise your rings a little bit, and you can really pull into that higher position, right? And then once you get comfortable having one leg up, you can get your other leg up, and you can start to really pull from there and see like you can pull on through. I'm not even there yet. What I have to put on is not very stable, but that's the idea. So you would kind of pull from there, and even just work, this is gonna work me out, right? So it's all about just finding those sweet spots where you can start to develop that strength in a safe way, work those in ranges, just build through things in a nice fluid way. Yeah, keep going. I'll show you guys my bar real quick that I created during quarantine. I didn't have a lot of space in the backside here to put a full bar because people are a lot of times walking through here. So what I did is I created these little hanging positions. I've got some daisy chains, and I put these, got this coat rack bar that's powder coated, and so I can hang it in the different daisy chains. It's kind of cool. And like that actually lets me have different lengths. So I can get a bar as low as this if I wanted to, and do like a full, you know, like some kind of like chest to bar from like I'm kind of tired. I'm not thinking straight right now, but took a chest to bar from like a horizontal position, or just work on those rows, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's fun. But this is my home gym. I usually like to go out to the park, get out in nature. That's probably my favorite place to be, working on these type of skills. And yeah, get out and do your thing. Keep on moving. Appreciate you being part of this journey. I'm excited to show you my progress in a couple weeks. And definitely got some other cool videos coming to this channel soon about how to increase your handstand hang time. Also how to, we're gonna be doing some backflip tutorials. I got a whole list of stuff. It's gonna be great. So anyways, talk to you all soon. Stay activated. Have a blessed day. Peace.